members in different JSP scopes. Yeah. So let's just discuss a little more. First, in declarations, members inside declarations. So we know all the members we define inside the declarations will be copied to JSP servlet class, but outside the underscore JSP service method. That part. So you can imagine that, because we can never see that part. We can never see that part. Okay? Yeah. All right. A class, method, or variable defined within the can be used within a scriptlet. Yeah, definitely, because you have the class scope, right? So the declaration, you have the class scope. So those members can be used anywhere in the translated class. Scriptlet's part of the translated class. So definitely you can use that. Okay? Now the other way around. Then the other way. Now we talk about when we define or declare members in scriptlets. Okay? A class variable defined within scriptlet cannot, this time cannot, not the opposite way. This time they are in the J underscore JSP service method, right? Yeah. Okay. In scriptlets, you define inside this. Definitely, they cannot be accessed out of this method scope. Yeah. Yeah. So you cannot within declarations, right? Yeah. Within declaration, for example, if you want to use implicit object, you cannot, because implicit object must be here. Okay? Implicit object must be here. Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah. So that's the rules. Another thing. Yeah. Another thing we need to talk about. JSP expressions. How do we use JSP expressions? Now, based on our understanding of the scope, okay? Understanding of the scope, we can easily understand the way to use JSP expressions. Yeah. First, criteria. Criteria here means when you create JSP expressions, what is the basic criterion you know to see if it is legal or not? Is your JSP expression legal or not, right? Yeah. So this question, I give you one such question in your quiz number 2. Remember, if you go back, look at the quiz, my object, in the quiz number 2, I create a Java object called my obj. Now I want to use it in a JSP expression. The question is it legal, right? I remember I gave you this question. You know, based on this criteria, you can check if it is legal or not. The checking is very simple. Yeah. So let's look at that. Yeah. The criteria, any code that can be legally be the entire right side of an assignment statement can be placed within an expression. Okay, all right. Assignment statement. You know the assignment statement, right? Yeah. For example, string, here I create an assignment. String A equals X, Y, Z, right? So this is assignment. Okay, all right. Yeah. So here it says, if any expression, if you can legally put the right-hand side of the, equal sign, entire, not portion, okay, entire right-hand side of an assignment statement, then it is legal to put in a JSP expression, okay? Yeah, assignment equal assignment, right? Yeah, so, whatever you have, okay? My thing, yeah. So here I do not tell you what's that, all right? Yeah. Okay, yeah. You look at your my object. Can you put my object? Some you know, suppose you have an object class, okay? X. Can you put the my object at the right hand side of an assignment statement, right? So think about that. Okay, all right, yeah. So here you can see that is the criteria. Yeah. You can see based on this criteria, actually we can put a lot of things out in the expression. Yeah. A lot of things in the expression. Yeah. But at this point, I want to give you one example that violates this criteria. That violates this criteria. Yeah. If you just see examples that satisfy this criteria, it's still not enough. Okay. Now let me show you another example violates this criteria. Okay. So let me use string again, because that is simple. Okay? This time I use B. Okay? B equals. All right. Now I call a method. How about that? So I call a method. Okay? Yeah. Do something. Can I do it? Do something. Okay? Parenthesis. Okay? But this do something, the type is void. How about that? The type is void. So I define this method, it does not return anything. It is void. Is it legal to put it here? It's not illegal, right? Because it's void. How can you put at the right-hand side of an assignment statement? You cannot, okay? So this is a violation, okay? Violation of that criteria. So here, so you understand. So what you can do, what you cannot do, okay? Based on this criteria. Yeah. All right, so that is the JSP expression. The first point I want to talk about. The second point, the scope point. We also have the scope issue for JSP expressions. It uses method scope because JSP expressions is copied completely inside JSP underscore JSP service method. Okay? Completely inside. So it has the method scope. Okay? Yeah. So then you will see if you want to use it some other places, right? Some other places that will appear outside this underscore JSP service, then you cannot. Okay? Yeah? Yeah. Remember we talked about the JSP declaration, JSP directives, you cannot. Right? Yeah. All right, yeah. So that's the, you know, the reason is this. Okay? Yeah. The reason. Yeah. All right, yeah. Next,